texting, so he must be watching. I can't text.
Don't you want to go home, Brian?
I'm trying.
Mine's in
We'll see.
Well, we've got to do the water department, I think.
Why don't you let me have those warrants? I'll have them start signing the school warrants. To sign these warrants for the,
Oh, yeah, we gotta do that.
you don't need a formal vote.
Pen over there. I forgot my pen over there.
I did too, but I got another one right here.
Sign the same, there's a bunch of these. Please sign in the same location that you do the first time. They prefer that.
He's another executive session.
With the footed pajamas.
Unbutton, do they unbutton in the back?
Yep, front to back.
Do they unbutton in the back? And the front?
And the front.
Oh, that's just wrong.
That's wrong, yeah.
I think it's worse as I go.
All right, these are warrants for the school.
Damn, I messed up again.
Now, we have to do the water bond, don't we, tonight? That has to be done tonight.
Yeah, we have to open those bids tonight.
Yeah,
too.
tonight for the standpipe.
You get to go home before you guys do that.
No, you have to stay.
If you want to convince my wife of that, you go right ahead.
Well, just give me the phone, Al.
There you go.
No,
No, I won't, we'll say, oh, come get him, we want him out of here.
no, don't do that. I'll be in worse trouble.
Oh, yeah. That's weird.
Not really. No, not really.
We got some things to sign there.
Yes, you have the school warrants. They don't need a formal vote, they just need signatures.
Sign the
No,
same-
he's got them
same
coming
line.
out.
Please sign in the same line as you, there's a bunch of them there.
Thank you.
Okay, so you want me to sign right here? Boy, I don't like signing things without reading.
No,
Don't get too far on this agenda.
no, I did not.
Huh?
We didn't get too far on this
Right here.
agenda.
Paul didn't hang around, did he? He left. He was smart.
Yeah.
This may be 60.
Gee whiz, I gotta get out my magnifying glass again to read the numbers. This is better than last year, though, I will say that. Is this the final budget?
That's the one, yes, you have the latest copy of it, that's correct. That's the one that'll go to the hearing,
This is when it's going to the hearing?
yeah, the open
Okay.
hearing.
Okay, thank you. So what's the increase?
3.6, I believe, at the end.
3.6 million?
Percent, no.
Oh, percent.
To Berwick, you wanna know what Berwick's share of that is?
Wait,
Yeah.
On the mill rate, $1.15.
Yeah.
You did spoil my day.
Yep,
You have.
no, that was supposed to be tonight, but we just put it off till the 8th with everything else.
See, that's, if they had stuck with the Sinclair, gave no waivers, and everything was done by town valuation.
Are we gonna wait for signatures, or we wanna move forward?
You
I'll
know, every good
entertain a
bill
motion.
they pass, they gotta give a waiver to somebody, if somebody doesn't like it, and it's,
Sorry,
they're
I
not,
got it
Or-
they
together.
get cheated.
Here, let me grab it.
Spend hours
The,
studying
the
that.
other stuff that we would have, I would suggest that, you've done public comment, there's really not much of communications. I would be down to account payable warrants when you get going, and then we can move right along.
We wanna keep that agenda item where it is, unfinished business and,
Why don't you hand them to me, we can be doing them.
We probably should get them.
Wait, you do them, why don't you hand them, and I can,
Wait,
we,
I'm not gonna make people wait.
Brian and I can be doing them. Okay, good
I
idea.
agree. Attorney Dench,
You
how's
can do
your
that one, and
schedule?
I'll do
Can
this one,
we
and we
take
can
care of some
swap.
business and you can stick around? Okay. No.
Not according to our lawyer. Oh, there he is.
Problem is if somebody makes a motion to come out, what if they don't?
Yeah, give me that.
Want me to pile them all up? Did you do this one yet?
Yeah, no, I haven't.
Purgatory.
Sorry.
Stay in there till the balance, till the budget's.
All right, so we are at,
Forestry
we-
bids.
we're gonna forego right down to, what are you recommending?
Opening the forestry units.
Can we do that? Is the opening of the forestry unit bids time critical tonight?
It's time critical to the point where they need to be reviewed and by your
Fire chief.
fire department. So I would just open them
Okay.
and announce them, and then set them aside for the fire chief to review and provide a recommendation to you at the meeting of the 15th.
All right, given that we've dismissed
Dear
some
God.
business here, is that your recommendation
He's
for a
out there.
restart point here?
That's as good as any at this point. You want to hand them back to me?
Hurry up, I'm getting ahead of you almost.
So I see. How many are there?
That's the last one.
First bid we're opening for Blant. What we're doing is we're opening the forestry bids that we received. This is the second bid process that we began. And the first one we're opening is from Blanchant from Harper, Kansas.
I'm gonna tell you, you men have terrible penmanship. Because I'm sure you know, oh,
I signed that one already.
yeah. Yeah, that's a big-
Thank you.
Yes, not. Pricing the bed apparatus for $90,649, the chassis for $34,000, for a bid price of $124,649.
That's for the fire department, right?
That's for the forestry unit bid.
Yeah.
And as you know, this is the second bid process that we've attempted.
Okay.
Next is from Firematic. Rapid
First one.
attack fire truck, as per specs,
124,649.
would be, with a discount, they have given a $1,500 discount with a total price of $129,345. This is from Firematic.
I didn't get that. I just wrote fire
Keith,
department.
could you tell me what the name of the first company was?
Blanchant, Blanchaat. Freedom Fire Equipment. Uh, 2012 Freedom Fire Apparatus for a total sum of $109,949.80. My recommendation would be to table any action on them, Mr. Chairman, until after the fire department has a chance to review them and provide a recommendation to you.
Motion to table.
I'll move that we table them till the fire department has a chance to review those and make their recommendations.
Second.
All in favor?
Right?
Keith, you only got 3?
Yes, 3 this round.
Recommendation and approval of standpipe bid.
Yes, we received as you know, I believe that I provided a memo to you this evening. At your last business meeting, you received 3 estimates or 3 proposals to do the standpipe work. The Water Department, as well as Apex Engineering, after reviewing the bids and documents provided to the contractors, have concluded that Marcel A. Pear Incorporated of Sanford is qualified, experienced, and financially sound contractor, which has made a bid with appropriate pricing and the lowest cost. And they're recommending that the Board of Selectmen award the contract for the standpipe coating to Marcel A. Pear.
Did they include a bond with their bid?
I'd have to look at the bond, the
Performance
documents.
bond.
I'd have to look at the documents. I don't have them in front of me this evening.
I would assume that most of them do,
Well, it would be
but we want to
nice.
make sure, too. I'm sure they got insurance in case somebody gets hurt.
I move we accept that pay your bid, providing there's a performance bond is attached to it and the liability insurance.
Second that motion.
Discussion? Are there any other items such as, similar to the performance bond that you're speaking of, that might be also important, or do you feel that covers it?
Performance should cover it, yeah. And liability, of course, is pretty much standard.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
They have workman's comp and what have you.
Eleanor?
Eleanor?
You in favor?
Oh, yeah.
Next, as part of our process, we're looking to coordinate a special town meeting for a bond anticipation note approval, as well as the bond itself. I've provided to you a special town meeting warrant that, if approved this evening, would provide a special town meeting to be held on Thursday, May 10th at 6:30 PM, in an open session to get approval from the taxpayers in order to move forward with this bond anticipation note and the bond. The warrant that is provided to you has been reviewed by bond counsel Bill Fletcher, and as what is being provided to you here has been recommended by bond counsel. So I would entertain a vote to approve a special town meeting warrant for Thursday, May 10th, and provide the appropriate signatures to this warrant.
Keith, the same applies there. I would assume there will be a bond to cover the indebtedness, correct?
Yeah, it gives you a complete detail within, and you
Yeah.
have a copy of
Yeah.
it there, complete detail of our indebtedness and what the bond's for, what the interest rate is on the bond anticipation note, what the interest rate will be on the 10-year bond that's being proposed as well.
Now, when that work actually starts, will that bond mature at that point, or will it be after it's completed?
There will be a 6-month bond anticipation note that will have a maturity rate.
That's the
and
interest that's
that'll be-
listed.
Yeah, at 1.99, and then it will be rolled over into the bond, and the bond will be at 3.56% for a 10-year rate.
That enterprise bond, is that something the board votes on?
Enterprise bond.
Well, we're providing funding right now to get this thing off the ground, so that it can be done.
You,
But there is a bond, an actual bond down the road.
this is taking care of both things at the same time with this action. You as.
Oh, okay.
You
all
as selectmen are also given the duty as the water department trustees as well. And the enterprise fund does fall within your purview, and that's the reason for the bond.
I just want to make sure the liability is there.
Yeah, and there's, and
bond.
this isn't tax dollars, this is
No,
out
it's
of
enterprise.
the enterprise fund.
Right.
So I'll make a motion that we approve the special town meeting warrant for May 10th, 2012.
Seconded.
In favor?
I'll pass it around if you can sign it, and then we give it to the clerk, and we'll do the necessary paperwork and publicity to the public. If I may, they're really under unfinished business. There's no action that needs to be taken for the speed limit on Cemetery Road. We haven't received any further information relative to that. Because of the lateness of this evening's meeting, I would table any coordination of an all-boards meeting based on the letter that you've provided to the public, to your board members at this point, until your next business meeting, where you can then sit and decide what date in the future is appropriate for you to get together with all your boards and committees and discuss. And that should wrap up.
One item that I think we need to add to that, Mr. Manager, is a discussion of the goals and objectives that we all submitted to you with the intention of putting them into a, 90-day, 180-day kind of planning calendar, so that we can work towards taking positive steps towards actually accomplishing some of the objectives that we
Oh,
feel
yeah,
are
I kept a
important.
page,
So
Judy, I kept a page.
that should be added to the list there, so
Okay.
we can follow, keep track of that.
I'm gonna say you.
Anything else, Ernie, that you,
I don't think
Well,
so.
look at it.
You want the motion?
That's mine, I did.
do we have any other agenda items for next week under new business that we might want to introduce? I was thinking about a discussion of the disorderly housing ordinance that came up at the last budget session.
What I was planning on doing, Mr. Chairman, was at your budget workshop that you will have on Tuesday, the 8th, is to discuss that, along with some of the other ordinance provisions that you folks have been contemplating, and decide whether or not they're going to go onto your annual town meeting warrant, or do they need further review by you folks as well as others prior to them being on there. So I do have it as an item that will be discussed at your workshop.
Very good.
Okay, you'll also have Frank Underwood and the other people on it.
They'll all be back, and we'll do them first.
Okay, but that's the night we gotta finalize the warrant.
No, it's not.
No.
The 15th?
The 8th.
Oh, the 8th. Oh, you're gonna
Tuesday
have
the
them
8th.
on
We're
next
gonna have a
week?
budget workshop on Tuesday, the 8th at 6:30.
Okay, okay.
And then we'll get together on the 15th at your business meeting, and you will have to take formal action on each warrant article. And if there's any modifications, we'll have to take a recess so I can change those for you. And then the warrant would have to be signed by you that evening, so it can be posted and prepared for voting on at the end of June.
All right, abatements and supplementals, we're not going to deal with that tonight.
We don't have any tonight.
Okay. Under the next public comment segment, I did receive a letter, since we had put out a request for some public comment and questions in writing from Mr. Jeff Hodges, which, due to time constraint, I won't address tonight. I'll address I'll address it at the next meeting. It's late. We will entertain a public comment segment here.
I'm just gonna correct my number, it's 5.5 overall on the school budget. I got it from somebody watching at home, got corrected. And I also wanted to ask if on the agenda.
Can you come up to the cap? Sorry.
If you can list the discussion of the school board on the agenda as that, so that people who look at it can see that, because some people are really interested in that.
5.5%.
It's sort of, I think, and this one, it wasn't specifically listed that way, so if we could,
Okay.
yeah, overall. And the percentages to each town are getting more and more different, so that's, those numbers
Okay,
all
so
will bring you when you look.
How would you want it presented differently?
Just to say that it's a discussion of the school budget,
Okay.
so people who are interested in that will
What I can
recognize it
do,
as that.
Mr. Chair, is when we do the agenda
Yeah,
for the
that's
workshop
correct.
on Tuesday, I will spell out the ones that we have invited back, as well as the remaining of the budget.
Very good.
Thank you.
Any-
I think we need to cut the budget, the school budget,
Too late.
by a
Kids
million.
will help.
Yes, Mr. Puffer.
This is just a quick question. Keith, do you know, may I address, Keith, on the bid for the standpipe, is that the older fashioned epoxy coating or the newer Unicoat coating for the inside?
What was quoted is the old-fashioned process that was recommended.
Thank you, just curious.
Okay. Next item, executive session 4056A.
So moved.
Chair would entertain a motion to proceed into this executive session to discuss a personnel matter. We have a motion, second?
Second.
All in favor?
No, it is still any tonight. I'm improving with age.